what up, you guys? It's Danny B. You're watching the Trash Dash. In this video, I'm gonna go over a couple movies I've been watching. I'm gonna call this thing the watch list. We're just gonna talk about like movies that I've been watching recently. Just gonna go over them kind of quick. I'm still kind of pretty busy and lazy at the same time, so I don't want to jump right back into doing like single reviews. But this is a good way to kind of catch up on things that I've been watching and share it with you guys. So I've been watching a ton of Italian horror lately. Just kind of in the mood for it. Started off with watching some cheesy Bruno Mattei movies, and then that kind of led into more, like my favorite giallos and that kind of thing. But first off, I got a couple non-horror ones here. I got In a Lonely Place with Humphrey Bogart, and Dead Reckoning also with Bogart and Bacall. And this is an underrated one. If you like noir movies, Bogart's my favorite, noir actor. I love his like gangster movies too, where he just played like a small part, he would always play like the bad villain, like the bad gangster. A lot of these old gangster movies would have like the good gangster, and then there would be like one that kind of goes against the grain, and it would usually be Bogart. But yeah, In a Lonely Place, not a gangster movie or anything, but he's a writer suspected of murder, and the police are kind of tailing him. And he's got a new relationship, and she doesn't know if he's a killer or not. Pretty underrated one. Bogart's great in it. There's a really cool scene where they go to dinner, and there's a piano player playing. And she was, I forget her actual name, but she was known as the queen of Boogie Woogie, but just playing kind of like an old, slower song. Very cool scene. I always go back and watch that thing on YouTube. In a Lonely Place. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Dead Reckoning is a noir movie. If you like the Maltese Falcon and The Big Sleep, this is a good third one to check out if you've never seen it. I watched this thing the first time earlier this year, I think. Earlier this year or late last year, I kind of forget, but good one. There is a weird scene where Lauren Bacall starts singing. Wait, is it Bacall? Yeah, it's Bacall. It says Elizabeth Scott on the cover, but it's Bacall on there. I'm pretty sure. Wait, what? Maybe it's not Bacall. What the hell? Okay, maybe it's not Bacall. But I was gonna say, whoever the lead girl in this is, she starts singing and she looks like a dead fish. She's got like no teeth. I mean, she has teeth, but when she's singing, they're not exposed, so it just looks like someone with dead eyes and no teeth singing, and it's pretty terrible. But other than that, the movie's really good. I could have sworn, am I having the fucking Mandela effect right now? I could have sworn this was Bacall in this thing. Maybe not. Alright, so let's get into the Italian horror. I started off with watching some Bruno Mattei movies for around earlier, in October, around my birthday. This is more of a Claudio Fragasso movie, but it's one of my favorites. Bruno Mattei shot some additional scenes. Night Killer, kind of a Freddy Krueger meets 9.5 Weeks kind of thing. You can even fathom that. But just super cheesy. The killer looks terrible, but then you find out it is a mask that he's wearing, but he's still got supernatural powers. And the guy that kind of kidnaps the main lady in this, she's having, a psychotic breakdown, so he kidnaps her to take care of her. But, I don't know, that guy, he's fucking just kind of, everything he says is hilarious. Even, like, just when he brings her lunch, he goes, like, fried chicken and French fries. Does it to me every time. Or something like that. It pops into my head every other week at work. I'll just think of that and crack up. Fucking hilarious movie and just really weird. Watch this one if you want like a really cheesy, like so bad it's good kind of movie. Shocking Dark. This was actually a first time watch for me. I haven't even opened the DVD yet, but I watched this on Tubi. Fucking hilarious. Kind of like a Aliens ripoff with Garetta from Demons. Then it turns into like kind of like a Terminator ripoff, and yeah, I watched this one. I watched Rat's Night of Terror. I've seen Rat's Night of Terror before, and then I watched Robo Wars, which was a fucking Predator ripoff. That one I didn't care for. I thought that was pretty terrible. It was like Predator with RoboCop, but just didn't live up to the hype. And then I also watched Strike Commando, which was decent, kind of a Rambo ripoff. I'm not huge into war films, so that one I still picked it up, but not really my favorite. But it's still decent if you want that kind of thing. Shocking Dark I really liked. Yeah, just pretty hilarious. And then Rat's Night of Terror, I've seen this one before. It says one of the funniest fucking endings that I've ever seen in a movie. Yeah, killer rats and fucking, post-apocalypse movie. They're, strangers trying to survive in a fucking night of terror with rats running up fucking vaginas and that kind of thing. Yeah, Rat's Night of Terror, a good one. And I went back to some of my favorite giallos, just on the Italian, fucking keep going with the Italian stuff. So, Case of the Bloody Iris. You know what's funny is I remember, I watched this for the first time for like 4 years ago or something. But I remember it being more of a serious movie. This thing's fucking hilarious. Like, all the dialogue is just like straight up fucking ridiculous. And there's like wrestling in it, and she finds a dead body in the elevator, and then just like goes like, well, I gotta keep going to work, and just leaves the dead body there. And then fucking everyone on the bottom floor is complaining, and the guy goes, if you don't mind, there's a murdered girl up here. Just a ton of fucking hilarious shit in this movie. I didn't remember it being like that. I remembered it being more of a serious one, but nah. Yeah, hilarious movie. And then the killer is pretty cool. It's got like the, like the blood and black lace, like no face, black gloves killer with the fedora. Really cool kill scenes in this. You got, the standard razor shit and the switchblade. And there's a scene where he drowns a girl. Pretty awesome. Yeah, Case of the Bloody Iris and Edwidge Finch. Probably my favorite Edwidge Finch giallo movie that I've seen. Maybe Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. But I think it's probably going to be this one. And then I went back to watching Deep Red. I grown to love this movie. The first time I seen it, I didn't really care for it that much. I thought it was kind of slow. But then I found out there's 2 different cuts of this thing. So I was watching like the 2-hour cut. And I was like, it's okay. Like, I like some stuff in it, but it kind of drags out. I watched, I think the guy's name was Mondo Film Review or something like that explained that there's 2 different cuts of the movie. And I watched this one because I rewatched this DVD and I was like, I liked it a lot better, but I can't figure out why. Find out this is the shorter cut. This is the 105-minute cut. I like this one a lot better. It flows a lot better, and then I think this movie too gets better every time you watch it. Some really cool kill scenes, pretty good mystery. The whole scene with David Hemmings walking around at the beginning and he's talking to the drunk guy, and it's just late at night. Just has a really cool feel, like if you've ever walked out downtown late at night. It's a lot like how it is. And think this all could have been avoided if the psychic lady just didn't mention that she knew there was a fucking murderer in the room. Yeah, Deep Red. Maybe my favorite Argento movie now. Maybe took the top spot from Phenomena. Alright, and then this one is not Italian horror, but it feels very much like an Italian horror movie. Maybe it is Italian. The director is Italian. I think he's from New York, though. I think he's Italian-American. The Killing Hour. Really awesome movie. I watched this a long time ago. I think on Tubi. And, yeah, this is a good one. the killer goes around handcuffing people to things, like he handcuffs a guy in a pool, handcuffs a guy to the car, and throws the car down a hill. The guy trying to solve the case is a cop, which is, the giallos usually don't have a cop as the guy trying to solve the case, but he's also a stand-up comedian, so he's got that going for him. Kind of like a Woody Allen kind of act, if I remember. I think maybe he was doing a Woody Allen impression. But yeah, it's got some familiar faces in it. It's got Joe Polito in it. I almost didn't recognize him because he's like really skinny. I'm used to seeing chubby Joe Polito. But yeah, this is a good one. If you've never seen this, it's very Brian De Palma-ish, The Killing Hour. Now, I've revisited this one. This movie, I never got on board with this one until now. Bloodbath, better known as Bay of Blood, Mario Bava. I really liked it this time. First off, I think I could kind of follow it a little better watching the English cut. Just looking at people's faces, it kind of understood who was who and why they were doing what they were doing. I think like the first time I watched it, I was watching it with subtitles, I think, and I was so focused on that, I couldn't, it's hard to read the words and then look at the people's faces at the same time. So I couldn't really figure out what the fuck was going on in it. But yeah, it's a lot like, Friday the 13th, with the kills and stuff, but then also the plot, like the group of teenagers go to the old cabin by the bay, and they're getting picked off one by one, so it is kind of a slasher. Yeah, really good one. Not my favorite Mario Bava movie by any, probably still pretty low on the list of my Mario Bava movies, but yeah, I liked it way better this time. And also, just watching it on the Blu-ray, the quality was a lot better. The first time I watched it, I think it was on YouTube. But yeah, awesome movie, Bloodbath. Bay of Blood, I like the name better, but I don't like this artwork it came with. If you can see that, it's like a new thing with like, the octopus tentacles and shit. I don't care for that. And then this one, I like better, but I still don't like it. I wish they did this. I guess maybe Kino or something had the rights to that artwork. That's my favorite artwork for it. I don't know why they put it on the DVD and not any of the, the slipcovers. Alright, and then a first time watch, Ruggiero Deodato's Phantom of Death. I like this one a lot, and the interesting thing about this one is it's actually the script from the New York Ripper, but like the original script from New York Ripper had a guy with a disease that turns him older, so like the cop can't figure out who's doing the killing because the guy keeps getting older and older. And originally, Ruggiero Deodato was supposed to direct the New York Ripper. I like the New York Ripper way better than this one, but this is still really cool to see that they actually made this version too, the original version. So, yeah, this has got Michael York and Donald Pleasance in it, and it's in English. It's also got Edwidge Finch in it too. Yeah, I wanted this one you could say is a giallo, but it's not like a mystery. Like it pretty much. The whole movie, who's kind of doing it. I think like the first 20 minutes is a mystery, and then they just cut to the guy killing a guy. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they did this version. And then last up, Torso. Torso, the first time I watched it, I wasn't crazy about it. But I watched the version with that like cuts in between English and Italian, and this version, because I found out, let me find my Deep Red DVD if I can find it. So this version, the English uncensored version put up by Blue Underground, is the shorter cut, and this version they did the same thing with this. This one has the option to watch like the Italian cut that's 93 minutes or the English version that's 90 minutes. So I was like, maybe if I watch this shorter cut, I'll like it a little better. And yeah, same thing. I liked it a lot better. Also, I don't know if it just went over my head what was going on the first time. If I think the same thing where I was reading, I watched like this. No, I watched the English and the. So I don't know. Maybe I just didn't recognize who was who. But yeah, this time I could follow who was being murdered and why they were killing and stuff a lot better. And also, just the picture quality on this thing was a lot better than whatever I watched. It's probably on YouTube again. But yeah, this one, it is like the first slasher movie. It's got a group of college students getting picked off by a killer. The killer has a mask on. Yeah, I just liked it a lot better this time. Torso. Very cool movie. And then it kind of turns into like almost like an Alfred Hitchcock kind of thing in the last 30 minutes. I always hear people say they like just keep up with it. Get to the last 30 minutes, that's when it gets good. But I like the whole thing, like the fucking killer strangling people with the scarf and stalking them in the woods and all that shit. I like the whole thing. So yeah, Torso. Alright, so that's gonna do it. Quick recap: we got Torso, we got Deep Red, got Phantom of Death, also known as Off Balance. I'll show you the inside artwork. The inside artwork is very good. Off Balance. Like, I actually think it's better artwork than what's on the front, but I like the name Phantom of Death. And also, I kind of like the old school vibe of that Photoshop right there. Yeah. That's put out by Cauldron. And we got Bay of Blood, also known as Bloodbath, which is a pretty, actually, more fitting name for this one, Bloodbath. The Killing Hour, very good Brian De Palma type of movie. Yeah, I've also watched Dress to Kill and Body Double, and Blowout. Those are, three of my favorite De Palma movies. Case of the Bloody Iris, classic. Rat's Night of Terror. Shocking Dark, also known as Terminator Part 2. Night Killer. Dead Reckoning. And In a Lonely Place. Alright guys, that's going to do it. Kind of a longer video. I'll, try to get back to doing single reviews pretty soon. Hope everyone's having a good November out there. Hope everyone's, living life to the fullest. Let me know which one of those is your favorite. Let me know some other good ones to check out. This is Danny B. You're watching The Trash Dash. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.